Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the I've graduated now what part 2 of my kind of talking about topic. I haven't done one of these videos since I initially graduated undergrad, but now that I've graduated from grad school I feel super duper happy about it. And I don't know, there's like some changes that have been made, and then there are some changes that haven't been made, and then there's been some really big things happening since I've gotten my graduate degree, and I'm super duper excited about it. So first things first, if you're just not graduating from undergrad, congratulations. And if you followed my advice from my previous video, I'll link it down below, the first one that I did. It's just talking about some things you can do now that you've graduated, and this will kind of be like a follow-up since then. So I graduated from USC December 2014, and then shortly after that I started graduate school. I went to Boston University online, and I always wanted to go to Boston. It was my #1 school that I went to go to for undergrad, but it was just too far, and I didn't want to be so far away from family for so long, so it didn't end up happening. Turns out applied for it for graduate school, and I got in, and I was super duper excited. So I got into the Master of Criminal Justice program, and that was about a 1.5 year program that I took part in. And shortly after December, so what was that, September 2016, I graduated with I had to think about it. Yeah, it was September 2016, I graduated with my master's degree in criminal justice. So now I have 2 degrees, and I'm super duper excited. So since getting my second master's, here's some things that they don't tell you after you get your master's degree. For one, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the city that I live in, but it's not exactly easy to break into your new master's degree program, particularly one in criminal justice, unless you're already in some profession involved in criminal justice, like you're a cop, you're a detective, you're a federal agent, you work for the FBI, which we do have. There is an FBI headquarters in Columbia, and I've been to that. Oh, rewind. So what made me decide to take part in the master's criminal justice degree was that I initially wanted to join the FBI when I was younger. Still kind of do. I don't think I want to be a federal agent, but I do still want to work in the criminal justice profession, the Federal Bureau of Investigations profession, but not in the agent status. Like I might want to do something dealing in communications or being a liaison. Lately I've been thinking about getting more involved in that kind of line of work versus becoming an actual federal agent. Like I don't think I'm too keen on doing the agent part. So I decided to do that. What stemmed my motivation for that was that January 2015, I attended the FBI Academy in my state, and it's basically like a program, like a class you attend, and I did a whole day of meeting with FBI professionals, talking to the director of the South Carolina branch, talking to their communications specialist in that area, and talking to their SWAT team, because they do have a federal SWAT team. Just talking to everyone involved in that branch of the FBI. They had a crime scene investigative unit. Talked to them, and after talking to everybody, the bomb squad, all those people, I decided that I really want to do some type of government affairs work. So I want to work on the federal sense of criminal justice. So that stemmed my motivations into applying to the Boston U Masters of Criminal Justice program, and they had such a high graduation rate and a high rate where people who graduate get into the criminal justice profession. But I just think because of the state that I live in, because it's so small, because their networking is so small, that I probably won't get into that immediately after I graduate, which I didn't, which is fine. So since obtaining my master's degree, I've just been looking into state jobs and getting more involved in any type of legal work that I can, just to build my skill set. So I had been applying since September. I had been applying to a couple of paralegal jobs, law firm jobs, strategic communications jobs, like anything that I could do to to get me into a state-run or institution-run position, just to like get my foot in the door. Well, that didn't exactly happen as quickly as I thought it would. Like, I thought as soon as I graduated, there'd be people lining up trying to recruit me, and because I had been networking so hard that someone would automatically get back to me. That didn't exactly work. You kind of have to work for it. So I've just been applying since I graduated. I applied to at least 5 jobs a day, 5 days out of the week, probably every 2 weeks, not to like overkill with my applications and stuff. I just been doing that, just hoping that someone would get back to me. And something else that I did, I want to get my doctorate too. I'm trying to knock out all of my academics now while I feel like doing it, because I know in the future I'm not going to do it. And something else that they don't tell you is, as soon as you graduate, your loans people are going to call you or email you or tell you, hey, you're coming up on your period where you have to pay us back, so we ain't gonna be able to do that. So that kind of stuff. My whole thing was, I was just gonna keep going to school to get it all out of the way and then pay them back later. Since I graduated with my master's degree, I was trying to go back to school. I didn't necessarily want to get a doctorate. I thought about law school. The time that it probably took me to apply to graduate school and graduate school again and do another program, I probably could graduate from law school. But law school is a lot of work. Like, you have to take the LSAC, you have to find a college or several colleges, you have to interview with them, they have to accept you, and then you actually start law school, which is 3 years in itself. My goodness, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't think I want to particularly become a lawyer. I could if I really wanted to. That's still up in the air about me going to law school. I don't think I would do it this year though. I would definitely take a break and not do that, because that just seems like a lot of work. And I think a lot of the deadlines pass for the LSAC test too. And then you have deadlines for law school. You have to apply. So it's just a lot for me to do straight after getting this other degree. So law school is still in the works for me. One thing that I would probably do, one of my dreams too, is to probably go to Duke University to get my doctorate. I think I'd do that if I did decide to jump on that doctorate train. We're not exactly on that train yet. But I've been applying to different jobs and doing some volunteer work, just trying to get back into my skills of public relations, because I kind of left that behind since I graduated 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago this year. So I really want to get back to that. I've been doing retail for almost 2 years just to kill time while I was in graduate school. I was over it. I was over customer service in general, in that sense of being constantly around people and selling things to them. Yeah. So I kept applying, and then I came across this one job that sounded really, really cool. It was part of an institution. It was advising. I love helping people, so I applied to that job just to put one more application out there. So I did that. Turns out, got an interview, got a second interview, met with the university president, and now I was offered, at this point, they'd offered me the position. So I have a new job working as an advisor at a university, and I'm super duper excited about that. Love the hours, love being able to help people find their way, which is really, really exciting. So that's what I'm currently doing now. For those of you who have just graduated from graduate school, I would say never give up on what your dream is. My dream is to still work in the government sector. I think if I were to go back to school, I would get either my second master's in international relations or get my doctorate in public administration or something along those lines. Like, I really want to do intergovernmental affairs. It's like my dream. And if I could work for any branch, I would probably want to work with the Department of Homeland Security, specifically FEMA, or what's it called, the Department of the Interior, or some branch of wildlife conservation, something like that. Since I couldn't exactly go back to school to be a vet at this point, I'll just work with the people who do the hard stuff. So don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on your plans. Keep planning, keep striving. I would definitely recommend keep building your skill sets while you're out of school or while you're in school. My graduate program, towards the end, it was nothing but writing. Oh my gosh, it was nothing but writing. All I did was write papers. Thank God I had a minor in English, because That was a lot of papers. I think I had one course that every week I had 2 papers due. And they were like 5-page papers. So 10-page papers every week for 8 weeks. That was my life. So that sucked. But thank God I could do it. I'd rather do a paper than a math course because I would fail. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's my little tidbit on what happens after you graduate from grad school. If you guys have any questions for me, please feel free to comment down below. I'll put some of my old videos out there. From being at Boston, their graduate program. Their program has changed in the past couple of months since I've attended there. I know they updated their curriculum, so it's not the 10 required courses anymore. I think they updated it to where you can choose at least 3 courses that you want to take, and then they had mandatory ones, or it might be 3 mandatory ones, and then you could choose the rest, something like that. But I'll link all that in the description box below. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.